Welcome to the think tank, Shlomo. It's so
How's it
nice to
going?
have you on, buddy. I
How you
haven't
doing,
seen you.
Mark?
I haven't seen you for a couple of years. You left town and ran away, right?
I ran away from Tampa.
There you
I'm
go.
in
There you
Philadelphia
go. There
right
you
now.
go.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I met you in Toastmasters, probably about what, 3 years ago? Probably 3 years ago.
Something like that.
Yeah, and
About
we
3
both
years
had the
ago.
vision to do what we are doing now. And when I
Mhm.
saw what you were doing, I said, you know what? Let me get value. Let me give value to my friend. And you're doing great things. I've been reading about it. I saw you just published a book.
Mhm.
So first of all, tell us, how did you like Toastmasters?
I love Toastmasters. I joined right out of college, about, I would say, 3 or 4 months after college,
Mm-hmm.
6 years ago. It's been about a little bit, it's about to hit the 6 year mark. And when
Mm-hmm.
I joined, I already knew I wanted to be a professional speaker. I knew I wanted to inspire many people, but I lacked that one great skill, which was public speaking. For those who don't know me, I was bullied for 15 years of my life for
Wow.
how I spoke. I went to speech therapy class for 7 years. They would pull me out of class
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of class just to put me in this program. So I would have to make up that time in that class because I was in the speech therapy program for school. So I did that for many years, got
Wow.
picked on, and my confidence really took
Mm-hmm.
a toll on me. During big groups, I wouldn't speak, and people mistaken it for me being shy.
Mm-hmm.
And because people thought I was shy, I just wouldn't speak because I thought people would laugh at me.
Right.
And then at 23, right when I graduated college, I went to Toastmasters, Suncoast Toastmasters in Tampa.
That's where I met you at Suncoast. Yes.
I think I was the president at that time
Yes,
too.
you were.
And at 23, I wanted to become better. I heard of Toastmasters. Some people told me about it. I didn't know what to expect. So I went in with my brother-in-law, Ashok. And when I went in, they had me to do a table topic. I was super nervous. Stumbled. I barely said anything. I think I was 15 or 20 seconds. I stumbled across a lot of words. But I still wanted to do it because people there were very nice, friendly. There's a lot of mentors there and that first day was just the beginning of me being in Toastmasters for about 3 or 4 years. I think I was in Toastmasters for about 4 years
Right.
until I kind of stopped going. But during that 4 year span, invaluable, became more confident. I could think on my feet. I can prepare speeches. I can write speeches. I can mentor other people. My grammar got a little bit better because English wasn't my first language.
Right.
It's just something that for the price you cannot beat.
No, yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I
Yeah.
tell the same story of myself. I've joined, it's my, I think, 5 years now, my Toastmasters journey. And myself being a high achiever, I wanted to, the first thing I want to know, how high can I go? Where you can become a DTM. What's a DTM? It's a Distinguished Toastmaster. Man, that's a long time. It's a lot of speeches. But you know what? I spoke every time I was a Toastmaster, I spoke. I took every opportunity, and just like I was shy when I started. It's next to death. Speaking is next to death, right? Or being
Yeah.
scared. But I challenged myself, just like you did. You challenged yourself. And when I saw you speak, then you became president. And I said, wow, it's a young guy being president. Not very many people at your age join Toastmasters.
I don't know why, but they should.
Yeah, but that's good. So, but I enjoyed seeing you there, and then I've watched you and what's your other friend's name?
Armand.
Armand. I follow him too. Yes, like I'm
Yeah.
gonna give him a call. Yeah. So your Toastmaster, it has already paid dividends for you, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Okay. So now you're away now. You left Florida, and you went to where?
Philadelphia. I came here back in December 2019.
Right.
I knew I wanted to become a full-time entrepreneur. I was working for my sister's startup for about 5.5 years. I learned a lot of valuable skills over there. And by that time, I was trained by a couple professional speakers. I flew to San Diego. I was trained by Brian Tracy.
Right.
I was trained by Joe Yazbek for about 6 months. I'm currently on the John Maxwell team. And
Mm-hmm.
just combined, I was trained by speakers in over 200 countries who have spoken in
Mm-hmm.
over 200 countries. And I thought it would be the perfect opportunity for me to take that leap of faith. I started Teenage Impact last summer. For
Okay.
those who don't know what Teenage Impact is, it's a media company for teenage kids to help them with becoming more resilient, becoming more confident,
Mm-hmm.
overcoming the struggles they're going in life to become successful. I started Teenage Impact. I started interviewing a lot of successful, well-known people around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And 6 months in, while I was about a quarter done with my book, I decided I should take the leap of faith and just follow my gut instinct. And I'm here 8 months later.
Good. That's wonderful. Yeah. So you published your book. What's your book called? What's the name of your book?
It's called Never Fight Alone.
Never Fight Alone. Good.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yep. So I
And
realized it was just published about a month ago.
it's about to be published. So, I mean, the publication day is September 15th,
Wonderful.
2020. So about 4 weeks from now, I think 4 weeks from tomorrow.
So if somebody wanted to pick up a copy, where would they pick it up? Would it be on Amazon?
It'll be on Amazon. Right now I self-publish, so
Okay.
it'll be on Amazon. Right now is the biggest retailer, hardcover,
Mm-hmm.
paperback, and ebook.
Good.
And
Yeah,
it's a compilation of 51 interviews I have done
mm-hmm.
on how they were able to overcome their struggles as a teenager and how they can improve their mental health. I've interviewed people who were suicidal. I interviewed people who used to be a professional athlete as a teenager
Mm-hmm.
and then got really anxious. They couldn't even leave the house. I interviewed people who were sexually assaulted when they were younger and how they overcame those struggles. It's like a chicken soup of the soul for teenage kids and parents of teenagers.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I look forward to that. I'll pick up a copy, definitely, without a doubt. Definitely. So how do you go about from promoting what you do now? How do you go about it?
Let's see, I contact schools.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of speaking engagements. I contact counselors and principals, and they give me, right now everything's virtually, so I do virtual speaking engagements.
Mm-hmm.
I reach out to well-known people on Instagram about my brand and I interview them, and then they go ahead and promote my brand. I do a lot of TikTok because I know a lot of people.
Well, let me ask you something before you interrupt. I don't mean to interrupt. What I find, even in what I'm doing too, right?
Mm-hmm.
People of influence, if you reach out to them, they'll reach back to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
People are afraid to do that, but I've tried a couple, and I said, reach out to a few people, individuals, and wow, they responded back.
Yeah.
People are really giving. They don't realize that. Not everybody, but I would say probably 90% of who I've reached out to on LinkedIn have responded back to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so I'm glad you're having that same success.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who else of value have you spoken to?
I just about a couple of weeks ago, I interviewed a former BMX Olympic coach. He went from, he was doing it well in high school, but then he went down the wrong path, got addicted to drugs, went to jail.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Parents kicked him out. He was homeless for 6 months, went back to jail for breaking in someone's home. He was in jail he was sentenced to 4 years in prison, but
wow.
He got out after 2 years, after he started becoming more spiritual. Then he started riding professional BMX, got injured, had to reinvent himself, and then became a BMX professional coach. And eventually, he became an Olympic coach. And now he had about 200 speaking engagements at schools lined up before the corona happened. And now everything got canceled.
I mean, it's just a weird feeling. Like I told you, I started my professional speaking career a year ago. And right about March of this year, when I was just getting my momentum going, everything got canceled. I have 9 got canceled immediately. When I had one as far, and the speaking business is about in the future. When you speak with someone and they plan, you plan 3 months, 4, sometimes a year in the future. So everybody right now in the speaking business is like online, trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no surprise that what I do. Like I said, I spoke last week to a group of 30. I look at people who have done it. Like, for example, Les Brown. Les
I
Brown
love Les Brown.
he's all over LinkedIn right now. He's
Yeah.
bringing his old videos. So I'm saying, and I started mine. I said, well, it's not a bad thing, but so you have to learn to pivot because nobody wants to see anybody in person. All speeches are canceled. I interviewed a gentleman last week, KTR, Kevin T. Robertson.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin has a professional speaking. It's like almost like a tutoring college called Speaker Focus, and same thing with him. He's teaching. He's one of my coaches, and he gave 2,700 speaking engagements in the last 30 years. So can you imagine a guy like that had that kind of knowledge?
Wow.
So I tag along with him, and he's taught me a lot. But again, like he says, the key word right now that I use, and he uses a lot, is pivoting. You have to learn to pivot. You can't fall back and say, well, I'm sorry. No, you have to pivot. You got to figure it out. I started my YouTube channel, reach out to people of influence and just build your brand back up again. Because it'll come back it probably won't come back in the next 6 months, but within the next year, we'll see it come back again because, the speaking business is a $1 trillion business. Not billion or $1 trillion business. So
yes,
corporations rely on speakers and consultants. But you are focusing more on the kids market up to 16. Is an age bracket for you?
I actually do 12 to 17, 18 years old.
Right. Okay. Just at that tender age.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I've done a lot of youth programs too. I'm actually about to launch my very first virtual public speaking youth training. For kids, I did a lot of in-person training.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what I've learned in the past 6 years from being trained by professional speakers,
mm-hmm.
and have paid thousands and thousands of dollars for training, I'm going to put it for a very affordable price. And
Mm-hmm.
it's only going to be limited to 12 students, and it's going to be a 5-week program. And that's how I'm pivoting.
Right.
Because I realized that a lot of people are not because I had speaking engagements canceled too for schools.
Right.
And a lot of them are not even thinking about hiring speakers. They don't even know if their school is going to be virtual
Exactly.
or going to be
Mm-hmm.
in person. Yeah.
It's a tangled web right now. It's a tangled web.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, Chris, what do you think about, do you think kids should go to school in this pandemic situation? You think kids should go to school?
I honestly, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm kind of mixed feelings myself.
I have mixed feelings because on one hand, you have to move on in real life, but on the other hand, you're putting other people at risk and you're putting yourself at risk. So I'm kind of like half and half. I just don't know.
Yeah, well, one of the biggest things that I see, and like I said, what I do,
Mm-hmm.
I don't follow the news like CBS, CBS, CNN, Fox. I watch everything, but I discern. I make my own decision. I don't watch the news and let the news make decisions for me. And what I found is that the kids going back to school, if they get infected, the kids have more resilience, but they take it home to the grandparents and the parents.
Yeah.
Who are elderly and have more what they call they may be hypertensive or different things going on with them as they get older, and they get infected because the immune system is so compromised. Mm-hmm. So wow, it's a tough decision.
It's a very tough decision. In Philly, where I live right now, schools are virtual until mid-November.
Right.
Which is interesting because Florida is going back next week.
I mean, it's all political. It's all political.
Yeah.
I don't get into the political thing. I try to be a realist, and I look at the facts, and like I don't like masks, but if that's what it takes right now, I wear a mask. I don't have a problem. Some people say, I just don't want you to infringe on my rights, but hey, that's you. But I wear one because it's the law. Mm-hmm. If I don't wear one if I'm at home or in my yard or wherever, but if I'm out at Walmart or somewhere, I could go pick up something. It's the law,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, but, you gotta do what you gotta do right now, and you have to adopt, and that's just called life.
Yeah. But man, I really wanted to reach out to you. You're doing
Uh-huh.
great things. Um, wow, it's taking a chance, taking a jump, taking a leap of faith.
You have
And
to take
you're going to have some stumbles, but you know what?
it.
Like Warren Buffett says, when things get bad, that's when you have to jump, because that's where there's opportunity, in the darkness. There's opportunity in the darkness, and so I think that's how I think. When I tell people all my whole life, right out of college, I never had a job. I've never had a job. You know why? Because I believe in me. I believe I can do anything I want to, but I have to apply myself.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a professional speaker. I became that. And now look what happened. That's okay. I'm going to learn in this process, and I'm going to reinvent myself like, oh, we all have to. Even people who are getting paid $25,000, $50,000 a speech are reinventing themselves. So why can't we do it, right?
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, people, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to do great things. There's some people make the jump of becoming an entrepreneur, they don't make it, which is okay. And then, but it leads them to a path or a job that they absolutely enjoy because they had their own experience.
Right.
Don't think that if you fail and become an entrepreneur, you don't want to become an entrepreneur. That's fine. There's also becoming an intrapreneur, meaning you work for someone, another startup, you're an employee there, but you are building something from the ground up.
Right.
Or not, I mean, you just have to do a job that you enjoy, that doesn't feel like a job, whether that's owning your own business or whether that's not owning your own business.
Right. Yeah.
But just know that you have to put your best foot forward, and you have to take a leap of faith, whether it's becoming an entrepreneur or taking a new direction in another profession in life.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. The key is you have to know your why. What's your why? What are you passionate about? I'm passionate about speaking. I love to speak. I love to give experiences. One of my famous speeches is that, have you ever lost everything in your life? Not once, but twice. I give that in a competition. Have you ever lost everything in your life? Not once, but twice. I mean, I speak from experiences. When you talk about somebody losing everything, when a house gets burnt, my very first house I bought got burnt to the ground.
Wow.
Okay. And then you rebuild it. That's your first house. I'm a young man. You rebuild it. And then in 2008, I was flipping houses. Got wiped out again when the market crashed. Okay. So I can say 3 times, because here now COVID 3 times, right? But it's the challenge of life. That's what excites me. The challenge of life. The challenge of, like walk in the dark. You can glow in the dark. You can glow in the dark, But anyway, it's not about me. I wanted to reach out to you and give value, and I'm so happy that you took the time to come in the think tank and share with us what you're doing. And so let me ask you, so if we wanted to reach out to you, if a parent or a school wanted to reach out to you, how did they contact you?
Sure, you can visit my website, www.teenageimpact.com, www.teenageimpact.com, and on my website, you're going to find so many different resources. You can download a couple of free ebooks I have, one called 52 Tips I Wish Someone Told Me in High School, and 7 Quick and Easy Ways to Feel Better About Yourself. And these are these are ebooks you could provide to your teenager that can completely change their life, and use the lessons that we talk about in this podcast or just in general to implement in their everyday life. You can also find my book. Right now, you can't pre-purchase my book, but what you could do is drop your email in, and I'll notify you when it is on Amazon. So again, www.teenageimpact.com. You can find my blogs, ebooks, information about my book, or if you're interested in hiring me to speak, there is a hire me section, and just contact me via form.
Man, wonderful. That is so good. I'm just so proud of you, man. You're a young man. You could be my son, right?
I could.
Yeah, you could, literally. But, it's just, the reason I reach out to you is because not very many people take the leap of faith.
Uh-huh.
I took it as a young man years ago, and I mean, I haven't regretted it. I'd do it all over again if I had to,
Mm-hmm.
because you know, I mean, I stand alone. I don't need anybody. And yeah, you need people, you need associates, but it comes from within first, right?
You
That
took
that
that leap of faith, becoming an entrepreneur.
yes, oh yeah.
What
I've never had a
what
job.
what age did you do that?
Probably 26, 27.
Oh
Because I
wow.
graduated, got my master's degree, and then I started flipping houses right from that tender age.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I teamed up with somebody who had money. He didn't know nothing about real estate. I knew more about real estate than he did. We teamed up, and I never looked back. And for for about 30 years, very successfully. And I've
Wow.
had some ups and downs, but I decided, I just decided, you know, it was from a kid, from 18 years old. I knew I wanted to be self-employed. It
Mm-hmm.
just was in me. It just was in me. But that's what it takes. It takes a leap of faith. It takes confidence within oneself. You know, growing up, you're young, you have that big ego hat on you. But as you get older, the ego comes off. You become
Oh
humble.
man.
You
When I
know,
graduated college, I thought I knew everything.
that's right. All of
But
us.
now I let my actions do the speaking. I do
There you
less
go. That's it.
talking.
That's what I'm talking about. That's it. So anyway, man, it was so nice having you on. I wish you all luck. If I
Yeah.
can do anything in the future for you, you know, I'm here. I'm gonna promote you. I'll keep your video. I'll keep it alive.
Uh-huh.
But I want to just wish you all the best. Thank you for being in the think tank today. And man, you know, just do your thing. Okay?
I
So
appreciate it, Mr. Martin. Take
thank you.
care.
Take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you soon again. All right?
Okay, bye bye.
Take care. Thanks for being in the think tank.